Fine.
One sec. One sec.
If yes, if they were there longer. Like John, I won't be like photo of them guys. We need the
Oh, one more photo.
Nako, Minako, Junko. You can come closer. Yukoko. We're just missing that one. I don't know if that's your last one. Oh wait, one more with the.
Thank you.
Yeah, so plenty of those like when we first started flying to Japan.
I know. It's very different from how it last was.
So I know most of those folks, but a lot of the newer folks I don't know too much. Yeah, because I had left already. Yeah, but yeah, I mean Nakoho is a good friend of ours. She probably was on Viva Lunch.
Oh, okay. I really need a new.
Is that your husband?
I took one for like new hire orientation. They just took like a photo of me. That was like the best headshot that I had. So nice background, but it's still be better. Yeah, let me know when you're ready.
Poor Wade.
Wait, I'm going in and I got my checklist.
Oh yeah. Let me know.
Acknowledged you at the open.
So my
Thank you.
Jackie, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Jackie, nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much.
cell phone interference, if you could shut off your. Oh yeah. I don't know. We don't know why that's not. That's all good.
Hi, Miyuki. Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you. Nariko, nice to
Oh,
meet you.
there's an interference somewhere.
Okay, oh, you guys are ready?
Shut off completely.
Shut up. Completely.
It's great to have you here. Yes. All right, you ready for discussions? Ready meeting Q&A? Okay.
Oh, nice. You never know who you're going to inspire.
Really?
I'm in the corporate sales team, so we manage business travel. So the ones who good guy.
Yes, we do.
In a row. I was surprised they asked me back. Like, what? They don't think of me yet. Nice to see you. Thank you.
So nice to see you. Oh, yes, good to see you again. Thank you for taking the time today. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Aloha, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the Hospitality Leadership Forum. I'm Dr. Lori Burke. I'm currently the chairperson for the Hospitality and Tourism Education Department here at Kapiolani Community College. Mahalo for coming today. So as part of Career and Technical Education Month, we're featuring viable career opportunities in Hawaii's leading industry of travel and tourism. Our Hospitality Leadership Forum today is sponsored by Kitado Watanabe Training Series Endowment, primarily to support training for industry and students. So we really thank Kitado Watanabe for today. So at this time, I would like to introduce Chancellor Misaki Takabayashi, who will also welcome you to the event.
Hey, aloha mai kako. Aloha. On behalf of Kapiolani Community College, I would like to welcome you all, panelists, guests, and sponsors, and students and faculty to the Career and Technical Education Expo. And we are here at one of the featured events today, right now. Okay, so I say featured. I'm going to go off script, Laurie. Watch out. I say featured because this is, to me, a dream configuration to honor our middle name. Our middle name, Kapiolani Community College, right, is community. Okay, so for hospitality and tourism, today we have the industry experts, industry folks, our faculty, staff, current students, alumni, donors, administrators, all supporting this ecosystem of hospitality and tourism. And I think that's what it's going to take for every discipline to move Hawaii forward together. So I really appreciate you being here today and then being part of that ecosystem. Really, this is an incredible opportunity for our current students. Please headhunt them. Is that still a politically correct term? And please, students, do talk to, and thank you for volunteering to serve lunch, by the way. Please do talk to folks that you meet today. Networking at this point in time is everything. So take advantage. Okay, so going back to the script. The Hospitality and Tourism Department has been the largest community college program in the state, aiming to support workforce development of Hawaii's primary industry. We all know that and appreciate that. And we extend a warm welcome to students interested in learning about hospitality industry. Okay, so yes, I do recognize the fact that we have students who are exploring different CTE options here. And additionally, a big mahalo to our industry partners and donors who are joining us today in supporting the future together. All right, enjoy the panel. And then thank you, Laurie. Good job, Laurie. And then the hospitality department folks for putting on this fabulous panel. All right, good.
Okay, so mahalo, Chancellor Takabayashi. I really want to acknowledge the Hospitality and Tourism Event Management class. This is a live class, so yay. It's called Host 61. For those of you who are looking for a class to take. And I want to also acknowledge Amy Shiroma, who is the faculty. So they helped in planning and implementing today's event. So again, I want to acknowledge our Hospitality and Tourism Department faculty who are here. Thank you very much for your help. And certainly, as Chancellor Takabayashi mentioned, we want to thank our super supportive advisory committee members, industry partners, and our donors. You provide the support that our students need to meet their goals and to, live in Hawaii or wherever they choose to. So if you need to use the lua, the bathroom, restroom to the left as you exit, lunch was provided by Ollie's Kitchen. I hope it was good. Yeah. And Sky Kaupiko is a graduate of Kapiolani Community College and owner of Ollie's Kitchen. So just put in a plug. They're at Puck's Alley, if you know where that is. We will also, if you stick around, hopefully you stay through the panel. The panel will run through 1:15 And then we will be treating you to pop culture artisan pops. So it'll be a nice treat. And that is also provided by an entrepreneur and graduate from Kapiolani Community College. So you'll meet Justin on the way out. And now, we are so grateful for Sheldon Tawata. He is Kapiolani Community College's alumni coordinator. He's also the Ku'ile outreach counselor. He supports community, he supports secondary education endeavors. He will now introduce you to our panelists. He will also facilitate today's leadership forum. Thank you.
I feel like I'm at such a disadvantage because I have no script. So I cannot go off script if I have nothing. But anyway, so welcome. If you don't mind, if you could turn to your neighbors and just say, congratulations, we made it this far. If you could take that time. And just so you know, we are now live on YouTube. And so for those who are sitting, make sure the back of your head is nicely combed because the camera's back there. But in addition to, I do all that stuff at KCC, but one of my proudest moments, I too am a graduate of Kapiolani Community College. So when you talk about community, it's super awesome. This place does magical things. But anyway, rather than me introduce the panel, I'm going to have the panel introduce themselves. And so we'll start with Jackie, if you don't mind.
Aloha, everybody. It is such a pleasure to be here. It is such an honor to be back here at the Kapiolani Community College. My name is Jackie Slayton. I am currently a guest services manager at the Sheraton Waikiki Beach Resort. I had graduated here with my associates with a concentration in hospitality operations management in the fall of 2018. I have then gone on to receive my advanced professional certificate in the fall of 2019, which had helped transition over to the UH West Oahu to receive my my bachelor's in business with a concentration in hospitality and tourism in the fall of 2021.
Thank you, Jackie. Yay!
Aloha, everyone. My name is Wade Takano. I graduated back in 2017, hospitality tourism with a concentration of management. I didn't go on to get my bachelor's, hoping to get back into the program. But it's been a journey for me. It's an honor to be here. I've been in hotels for the past 6 years now, and it's going strong.
Thank you, Wade.
Aloha, everyone. My name is Cecilia Po'oi, but I go by Cece. I'm an event manager at the Hawaii Convention Center. I graduated in 2020, double majoring in hospitality management, operations management, as well as travel management as well. I am actually getting my BA at UH West Oahu, planning to graduate next year in the spring.
All right.
Aloha, everyone. Again, aloha, everyone. All right, I'm Jasmine Tamanaha. I've been with Hawaiian Airlines for, next month is 20 years. I am an account executive managing our large profile business travel. Happy to be here. I've graduated in 2004, a long time ago. So just super honored to work with students, and it's kind of my way to give back to the faculty that helped me so much along the way. So mahalo.
Aloha, everybody. Konnichiwa. My name is Mick Francie. I have been working as a flight attendant for Hawaiian Airlines since December 2021. I completed the hospitality and tourism program in 2020. It's nice to be back here. Thank you very much.
Yay.
Aloha, everyone. My name is Noriko. I graduated from KCC 2016. Got a certificate of achievement, hospitality and tourism, and I got a bachelor degree when I was in Japan. So I just focused classes I wanted to take here in the KCC. And currently, I'm a flight attendant at Hawaiian Airlines, working 4.5 years. Thank you for having me here today.
Awesome panel. Thank you. And we all know that the college journey is not a clean one. There's a lot of twists and turns and things like that. If you don't mind sharing your life after college and just maybe briefly tell your story, because we know people start college at different times. I actually work in various areas in the community. A lot of folks would tell me either college is not for me or it's too late, things like that. So if you don't mind sharing your story on how Kapi'olani Community College prepared you for life after college.
Personally, I think I've taken away so much. I've learned so much from being here at Kapi'olani Community College. I think that initially, right after college, I was working at a luxury condos. And I had the opportunity to go into that by networking through people that I have met through this school. So I'm just so greatly I just appreciate that so much, and I had the opportunity to finally get my foot in the door to hotels, which is something that I've always wanted to do, and when I was in college, becoming a guest service manager was just a dream job to me that I didn't think that I would get to so early on in my career. But just, coming to school here, getting to know the faculty, networking through my internships, people that I've met through this school and this program, it had really helped me get to where I am today. So.
Wade?
So my journey, actually coming back to school in my early 30s, it took a lot of courage for me to realize that I wanted to be in the hospitality industry, and the faculty and staff did a great job just sharing their experiences with me, and really putting the focus that this is where I want to be. And truly, I think in my life, this is the best decision I've ever made to come back to school. And right after college, after graduating in 2017, I was able to obtain a guest service agent position over at, back then was the newly opened Alohilani Resort. It was about maybe 3 days after they changed over from Pacific Beach. So it was very interesting to see a constant renovation happening while I was starting in the industry. And, I moved forward fairly quickly, becoming a guest service manager, and moving on to 2 other properties. Currently, I'm at Wayfinder Waikiki as a front office manager. So journey has been very interesting, a lot of ups and downs, but ultimately, it's a great experience.
Sissy, what is your story?
Wow. First off, I just want to say thank you to KCC because, to be honest, KCC gave me a second chance in my education. Through the professors with the host program and TIM program here, I was able to see firsthand with Palakiko, we did actual tours on a tour bus. Kavehi, she gave us hands-on experience by becoming an event manager and creating our own events. With Amy, it was with the Kahala Resort booking system. We were able to see how to actually book. And with Kumu, we were able to use the Hawaiian Airlines aviation system. So getting that firsthand experience allowed me to see that, like Wade said, this is what I want to do with my life. They were also very accommodating with my needs. I come from Kahuku, and that's a 4-hour bus drive. So every time I would be late or I needed extensions, your professors are here to help you. That's one thing that I've learned, is that they're here and they have your best interests at heart. And that's something that I took away from KCC, was their love for the students and to see them grow. For me, after I graduated, I continued at the Polynesian Cultural Center. From there, I was able to do events, work with, bettering the culture there for the employees and those who visit. Then from there, I was able to, like they all had their foot in the door with the Hawaii Convention Center, gave me the opportunity to hone my skills, what I learned from KCC, and to really show them what I got, if you would say. But one thing that I want to encourage everyone here is that education is the key. Don't ever give up, that there's so much more to life after school. Trust me, I'm a living testament of that.
All right.
All right. Gosh. Okay. So I represent the community from the neighbor islands. Small town girl. This is basically New York City for those of us who don't get off the neighbor islands. super big move for me.
What's your home? Where's home?
Waimea.
There you go.
So people tell me, are you from Hilo or Kona? None of the above. I am from Waimea, Paniolo country. But I mean, when I think back to after college, I was scared. I'm not gonna lie, it was scary, right? You're not really one student anymore. Your parents kind of like you get it together, get your life together, figure it out, right? Kind of scary. I was super blessed. I didn't go on to get my bachelor's. Grew up really humble. Public housing, welfare, everything, right? So grew up super humble. Scary. I was very fortunate to get picked up by Hawaiian Airlines just prior to graduating KCC, but I was also working at Paradise Cruise as a sales manager there on the dinner cruise ships. But after college, you're going to have those points where you sit down and say, okay, what next? I don't know. What am I going to do? But I think what's important for young people to remember is you don't got to have them all figured out right away, okay? You don't have to. And to Cece's point, you get your education. If you like go back to school, right? Education is something that gonna always stay in here. Nobody gonna ever take away from you. Never. Jobs gonna come and go. Likes, dislikes gonna come and go. But kind of transitioning from, okay, college, now I gotta actually grow up and be an adult, right? You figure out your home situation. You gotta pay bills. You gotta live and you gotta survive. Start small. I started as a customer service agent just as a weekend part-timer at Hawaiian, only working Saturdays and Sundays and holidays, the days nobody else like work. But you got to, right? You got to start somewhere. And then slowly as you grow and you navigate your life, you're going to realize, okay, I kind of like this. I kind of don't like this. And it's okay. Change, pivot, move. And then here I am a million years later, still learning. I still don't want my life together. Still learning, still growing, still challenging myself, still failing. But I think the biggest advice that I would give to you is it's okay. Take your time, keep learning, and just keep trying. Just keep trying. All right? That's it. I'll get off the horse now. Oh, yeah.
So I came from Japan. Japan is my home. So when I moved here, I had no idea about getting a job here, but KCC taught me how to write a resume and answer interview questions properly. And I also did a mock job interview with Mr. Kozue, which gave me the confidence to become a flight attendant. And when I had to do my real job interview at Hawaiian Airlines.
Okay, so like I mentioned, I went to university in Japan like many years ago, and my major was tourism industry. But at that time, so I'm from Fukuoka, Japan. At that time, Fukuoka was just a city. It was not a tourist destination, even though. So actually, I was first year. I'm one of the very first year student in that course. The course was brand new. So I learned a lot of things, but I didn't apply anything. I ended up working as a realtor at the time, which I really actually enjoyed. But at the same time, I was wondering, like, what if I work the travel industry? So that made me think of like getting or transfer travel tourism industry. So that is one of the biggest reason I started going to KCC. And KCC is my favorite school I've ever been. This is the best school because, yes, teachers are awesome because they know what to do. And again, if you're interested in tourism hospitality, this is the best place because I was trying to think of a good example, but I know this is not an example. But let's say if you want to I don't know, be like snowboarder. You wouldn't live in Hawaii, right? Because no snow. You would live in like you can get snow. But here is the best place to learn about hospitality and tourism because there are tons of tourists in here. So I believe this is the best place. And of course, KCC is a great place to learn this industry. I hope that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. And I'm not biased at all to agree that this is the best place. Not because, I went here and everything and I work here or whatever. It's still it's scientifically proven this is the best place. Anyway. Sorry. So where's that rose to the top as I'm listening to you folks? Growth courage, perhaps you didn't say this outright, but taking risks. So if you could answer this question, with the industry constantly changing, how do you navigate through adversity and changes?
I just want to kind of add on to what Jasmine said is, we all don't really know what we're doing. We're figuring things out one step at a time. And the tourism industry is just one of those industries that's always changing. It's forever changing, and you just gotta take a risk, and you just gotta learn to adapt with the industry. So. I think especially for myself, just personally speaking, I was not in the hotel industry prior to the pandemic. However, I did hear a lot from my colleagues regarding a lot of the changes that we have experienced in our hotel, in many hotels in the area. The differences between pre and post pandemic. But you know what? We're still here. The tourism industry is here to stay, especially here in the state of Hawaii. So we just got to learn to adapt and get comfortable with getting uncomfortable and learning new things.
Oh, excuse me. I probably would have said it better than what you said. In get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Gosh, I don't know if I can top that. Not that I want to, but again, going back to the pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, a lot of challenges. Obviously, when I was in my second hotel, which is White Sands Hotel, we were open throughout the pandemic. So when March 2020 we were closed, we were taking in. We had low rates. We were taking in basically anyone that could pay, because that's kind of how we kept afloat while still maintaining. We're kind of doing a little renovations, but getting through the times. And I know the pandemic, was a loss and a gain for a lot of people. And yeah, again, challenges will be faced time and time again. My advice: make mistakes. I've learned so much by making mistakes, and just from there moving forward. The hotel industry nowadays, I think one of the biggest challenges is probably staffing, and that comes with the pandemic. Just to add on to that, so more and more times, we're looking for some very eager upcoming students that would like to be in the hotel industry, but just know there's a light at the end of the tunnel for every situation.
It's like you knew I was coming. For us, actually, we're at my job. My director of 26 years, who's been there with the convention center from the beginning, had actually resigned, and with that, we only have 2 other event managers. So right now, we're taking on a lot of her accounts, which are the largest accounts, citywide and international. And with that, like he said, you have to make mistakes to learn, and a lot of it is through trial and error. Some things work and some things don't work. But one thing that I've learned from adapting to change is being able to remember those that came before you and those that will come after you. And one saying that sticks with me is, we drink from wells we did not dig. And in order to keep, I guess, a company alive is to remember the mission behind the company, and that's to share the spirit of aloha and to always remember that things are going to change, things are going to happen, but as long as you do your best, make some mistakes, what can go wrong? So, like I said, just be adaptable, and adapt to change is really easy.
Okay, everything they said. No, but for real, for me, my kids could probably answer this question while rolling their eyes, because I say the same thing, right? Change is not just our industry, it's the world, it's your lives, it's your parents' lives, it's your environment, right? And there's only 2 things that help me get through kind of these changes. And if anybody been following Hawaiian Airlines for the last month or 2, we coming up on big change. And so never before have I had to recite this in my mind. And there's only 2 things, and it's the 2 P's. Stay patient, stay positive. Because if you're not patient, you give up. If you're not positive, you're going to go down this really dark rabbit hole that you're not going to be able to dig yourself out of, right? That's the only 2 things that you can do, right? Stay patient, because this too will pass, and stay positive, right? Because if you're not positive, you can make your own destiny, right? It's gonna be real negative, gonna be real ugly. So, I mean, tolerating change is a challenge. It's hard. It's super hard. It's change, right? But yeah, stay patient, stay positive, and you'll be okay.
Like everybody said, so I'm always to do my best at my job as well as to adapt changing situations, and also trying to stay positive. Also, I talk to my husband as well as other people such as family, friends, coworkers, so that I can prepare for any big changes that might happen.
For changing, so just like to me, just let it be because I cannot change anything. Like only thing I can change is just myself. So just be positive, and I think it's always good to have just like plan B in case what it happens, and also I strongly believe that like being flexible is one of the most important skills in especially in this industry because customers guess they can change their mind like every second. So it's very important to be flexible, I think.
I don't know if you folks did this, but like in, gosh, I want to say summer of 2020, if you drove through Waikiki, it was a very, very different place. It was scary. There was nobody on the sidewalk. There was nobody in the beaches. I had a friend who did painting. I think he was painting one of the hotels. Saying there's no one in the building. And then if you go today, very, very different. And so you talk about change. I mean, you went from nobody to now it's bursting at the seams again, which is pretty amazing. In the audience are teachers, industry professionals. I'm sure a lot of you are having like this proud parent moment, seeing your employees shine, your former students shine. If you could, in your own words, how do you folks define leadership? So this forum is all about showcasing what leadership means. In your own experiences, in your own words, what does leadership mean to you?
That's a great question. Thank you. Yeah, leadership means a lot. There's a lot of different ways to interpret, what leadership means. But I think it's just, leading your team. Anyone can be a manager, right? Just as an example, I'm a guest services manager at a major hotel in Waikiki. But anyone can manage people if you want to. Anyone can manage things, but it's different to being a leader versus being a manager. A leader leads their team, through many challenges, changes, like what we have talked about, finding solutions and finding ways to find guidance for your team. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's no one way to define what leadership means, but it is just doing your best, putting your team, whether it be students, whether it be your colleagues, leading them to the best of your ability. That's what leadership means to me.
Well said.
No,
for me, I kind of took on a new role recently as my current front office manager position. This was last year. I took the time to observe how operations went for this hotel that I'm so brand new to, and just how certain departments run itself, how it doesn't, the structure, if it's not structured, what can I do to improve the quality of work and just, I guess, more so the comfort for how all of my team interacts. And this year, interestingly enough, we went through a management change. Now, I'm used to going through, I guess, ownerships changing and there's rebranding and renovating. But for a management change, this was a little different. I was with Springboard Hospitality for a while. They oversaw White Sands Hotel and then Wayfinder during the grand opening. And so now I'm with Pyramid Hospitality Global, which actually also in Hawaii, they oversee, or excuse me, manage Turtle Bay and Lalo. So I'm very new, our hotel is very new to that management company, and a lot of values are changed. Now, as far as for my leadership skills, I think I've challenged them a bit with just taking on that new experience, and it's really defined what leadership is to me. Is to set the tone, set the example, and basically, you want to be able to have your team feel supported, and for them to be comfortable enough to come to you with any discrepancies that they may have with work. A lot of them recently, they've come to me with things outside of work. Now, I'm not HR, but I do part-time psychology as well, sometimes at work. And, as a manager, like Jackie was saying, you manage people. Is that easy? Not all the time. It's very difficult sometimes. It's very challenging. And you have to understand people. That's one thing I think in my role as a leader, I've grown. So, yeah, I guess in a nutshell, that's what leadership means to me.
Just like Wade said, for me, leadership is about teamwork. Being an event manager at the Hawaii Convention Center, I am the main point of contact for every event that comes through the building. So I'll be the first one in, last one out. And with that, I had to understand that everybody's role within my team is just as important as my role. I may be the face, but without my workers and without my team members, I wouldn't be able to do what I do, and that's to put on successful events for my clients. So understanding that there are no small parts in a team, everybody's part is just as important as your own. So just being a team player for me is very important in leadership, and understanding that you're not in it alone, that you have people that work with you, and that if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to have a successful event.
Ditto again for all of them. I think for me, leadership is a little bit different, right? When you think of leader, that means this person, right, on the top. The CEOs, the VPs, the directors of different positions, right? But I'm a firm believer in indirect leadership, right? So Peter Ingram is our CEO at Hawaiian Airlines, but I just put on a huge project where Peter had to listen to me, right? So I'm in charge of this huge project every January. I make the plan, I connect all the connections, and Peter's like, what time do I show up? What do I do? What do you need from me, right? I'm a leader, right? So I think one of the things that I struggle with, especially in this generation, right, and I hear it from my kids, my nieces, my nephews, oh, the leader, the boss. You can be one leader too. You don't need one title for be one leader. Lead, right? If there's people that are admiring you, looking up to you, if you have a great idea, be a leader, right? Lead that idea, lead that environment. It's super important that we all become indirect leaders of our own lives too, right? It's interesting how our younger generation, they think they come out of college, they're going straight to the CEO. It's not happening. Sorry to burst your bubble. It's not happening, right? You become a leader through your experiences, through the jobs that you take, through the challenges that you overcome, right? So if you graduate college and you don't get that management job, it's okay. Go work front office, go housekeeping, learn, grow. And then eventually, if that's your goal and that's where you want to be as a leader, you can be a leader all throughout your career. One day you're going to get that leadership title that says, I'm the boss, right? But you can be a leader. And leadership is about finding that leadership skills every step of the way, if that makes sense, hopefully.
Totally does.
I think the leadership means, like everybody said, to support the team. As my job in the cabin, it is called first flight attendant, which is the leader in the cabin. So first flight attendant has to make sure the cabin is comfortable, all crews work in good conditions, environment, safety, they had to be the confidence and be strong, have a responsible. So I think that leadership, the leader means be confident, yeah.
I would like to add it on Miyuki because we do the same job, and every flight most of the flight is like we meet each other the first time. So like, oh hi, I'm Noriko, and this is. So it's really good to. It's important to work together to help each other because we're the team. During the flight, we have to be safe. We have to be safe to until we land. And like she mentioned, the first flight attendant, she or he usually relay what the captain told us, or like what they advise us, and also like for example, if like medical emergency happened, we have to have a good team, and somebody initiate like, okay, I do this, you do this, we do that. So we have to have a good team, like instantly, like now we have a good team for take care of the medical emergency. So like that. So somebody has to take a leader at the moment. So we have to be confident for doing that. So for do that, we have to learn what we do, and we have to always keep updated what we do or what we need to do. So leadership, simply like good teamwork, and be confident to be a leader.
Can I add to that real quick?
Go for it.
Two perfect examples of indirect leaders, right? Flight attendants, if you don't realize, do not work on an airplane with a manager. So you cannot get one disgruntled person and say, manager, come fix it. They got to fix them, right? So their indirect leadership, right? Seeing a situation, being able to fix it, step up, guide. Plenty times, flight attendants are dealing with people who have heart attacks, got to do CPR for 5 hours, right? I mean, it's extremely challenging. No, they do not just serve food and drinks on airplanes. That's the fun part of their job. They do a lot of serious things too. Perfect example of indirect leadership, because you guys do a great job at that.
So I guess I need a redo because now I have a script. Based on, no, just joking. So this is a heavy duty one to close it out. If you can share the top 2 people that inspired you. So think deeply. So just think about the top 2 people that inspired you and why.
Yeah, absolutely. The first person that I, the very first person that I think of, off the top of my head, I'm gonna give you the most cliche answer. Is my mother. She is an immigrant. She's from Japan. And she was here alone, single mother of 2, raising me and my brother by herself. And seeing her work, 2-3 jobs. It inspired me to, and I apologize for getting emotional, but
Shout out to mom.
yes, shout out to mom. She did inspire me to go to college, get my higher education. So that's the cliche answer that I'd like to give. And then I don't know if for the alumni and the faculty that are in here, if you had the opportunity to be in or work together with a Kubunai, she's the second person that had really inspired me. I apologize.
Don't apologize. Thank you.
But for those of you who did not have the pleasure to meet her, she was one of my very first instructors. She taught Host 100, and she worked for Aloha Airlines for 20 plus years, and she was just the iconic spirit of Aloha. She was that person. And so I had the pleasure of, being in her class, experiencing, I got that firsthand experience and, your general hospitality class, what you do in your general hospitality classes, which is, learning how to do mock interviews, learning how to, sell yourself. And it was a lot of fun. I learned from her, taking her class, that I knew that I chose the right field to go into. Coming straight out of high school, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with my life. I'm going to be very transparent. I thought, I don't really know what I want to do with my life. I just know, hotels, there's so many job opportunities, hotels, airlines, since that's, what we do in Hawaii, maybe that's what I'll go into and, find out if that works for me or not. And taking her class had really inspired me to be where I am today. And I knew by taking her class and, learning from her spirit of Aloha and just her love for this industry and, I knew that I'm exactly where I needed to be. And unfortunately, I found out after the summer, after taking her class, that she had passed away with a cancer. But she is just the second, I would say, the top two people who had inspired me to be where I am today. Thank you.
You, Jackie. Not you forever. Wait.
You know, again, similar situation. I took Kumunai's class. That was probably one of the first hospitality classes that I took, Host 100, and she did definitely make a big impact. I would actually have, I guess, 3 people that inspire me if I added her as well, as far as the faculty. Again, if all my professors could bunch into one person, I think I would say that all of you are my inspiration. Collectively. Of course, I know all of you can't combine each other into one. But my parents were definitely a huge inspiration, and they've been my support system throughout, my college career, now in my professional career as well. Second person I would say is probably my ex general manager. He was actually my boss for Alohilani and previously White Sands Hotel. He challenged me. He put me into different positions in the hotel that I really didn't ask for. I kind of got thrown into it, but it gave me a chance to really mold myself and kind of become the person who I am career-wise today. And just the support that he provided for me. He gave me the tools necessary. At White Sands, I opened up a bar that was technically supposed to be managed by a different company, but our owner wanted to have it open, and I had previously food and beverage experience, so he entrusted me with just a bar menu, a list of all the products that we needed. I reached out to all the vendors, and it was an experience that I wasn't really prepared for, but it definitely helped me. So I believe, as my previous any previous bosses I've ever had, he was one of my more inspirational ones.
For me, my first inspiration is my mom. Like Jackie, my mom is a single mother. My dad passed away when my 2 younger sisters and I were very small. And she is an immigrant as well from the islands of Tonga. She's actually an alumni of KCC. And then continued on to UH Manoa and then finished at HPU. But seeing her put education first, and because of her dad, which is also another inspiration of mine, my papa. I'm a papa's girl through and through. I wasn't the perfect student. I slacked off a lot. I'm 26 and I just graduated in 2020 with my AS. But her motivating me to be a better person, to see the potential that I had in myself, even though I didn't see it myself. I was more money driven. Young, you want to make money, you want to work more hours, so you slack off at school. That was me. And with that, I was able to have a sit down with my mom. She told me, if you want to make your papa proud, you have to get an education. Education is what's going to take you to what you want to be in the future. You don't want to be an employee. You want to own a business, right? And I was like, hell yeah. So she is a big inspiration. Another inspiration, and I have to say this, is actually the faculty and staff of KCC. I cannot stress enough the importance of education. They gave me a second chance. I was actually supposed to be kicked out of KCC. But with Cheryl's help, with the faculty and staff, I was able to turn my life around. Coming from Kahuku was not easy, but my Palakiko lived at Pupukea, so I cannot complain if a professor can make it, except he had a truck, I had the bus. But, they really gave me the tools, the support that I needed. When I needed extensions, they gave me the extensions. When I needed help, they were there to give me assistance with tutoring. When I just needed motivation in general, they were there to remind me. Kavehi with her booklets would write, "Great job, you made it on time today." Things like that motivated me. Professor Kozu, he actually gave me a letter of recommendation when I applied for BOSA. I was actually chairperson for BOSA for 2020, and that was my way of trying to give back to the college that gave me a second chance and gave me what I want to say a better future that I have right now. I'm still growing. My goal in life is to be the director for the Hawaii Convention Center, and let me tell you this, it's not that hard, okay? So after you graduate, I really recommend taking the skills that you learn from your faculty and staff. And Professor Evans, oh, he loves me so much. I had his class online, and he was like, I'm glad to see you in class today, CC. I'm like, me too, no excuses. But all in all, honestly, my parents and this campus alone are my biggest inspiration. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, ditto again. But it's so crazy and cliche, right? We all come from our moms, right? And I would ditto the fact that my mom is probably my biggest inspiration, but for exactly the opposite things that they said. So my mom is the laziest person on earth. I love her to death, but she lacks ambition, lacks drive. But you know what? She has more than anything in the world is a heart, man. Just such good heart. And she would always tell me, this was my mom, I don't care if you're a straight A student. Just take initiative and work hard, right? I don't care. Be a C student. Just pass, okay? And I know this probably not what our professors want you guys to hear. But, you know, it was more of, don't get so stressed out where you unhappy, you give up, you hate your life, you know. And to this day, she still don't work. She play video games all day. But she lives with me and she cooks and helps with my kids, and I love her so much. But the reason why she's my biggest inspiration is because she taught me to be the exact opposite, right? Like, this is me in my life. It doesn't have to be your life. Go make something for yourself. Right? And till this day, I mean, that's just a lesson that I cannot stress enough to people. Like, it's okay, your background. We all come from different backgrounds. We all get our own situations going on at home. It's okay. It's fine. You can fix it. You have control over that, right? So my mom, she's an amazing video gamer right now, and she enjoys life. But by far the most amazing person in my life. And then I love all of you staff, I really do. But I think in terms of someone else, you know, when I kind of went through my progressions at Hawaiian, I had a senior vice president really kind of zero in on me and said, okay, we're going to put you on this path. And, you know, and we want you here at someday, but you got to do all these things first. And Louis St. Cyr, I will always appreciate him. He's somewhere back in Canada now, some president of a navigating company. But the guy was a jerk. I mean, he was so mean to me. Like, he was so mean to me. He challenged me with all kinds of things that I had no experience about. And, you know, I look back now and, man, he trusted me in some of these really key big projects that could really put Hawaiian Airlines in one negative, you know, environment in the community and different key accounts and what have you. But he trusted me and he stood by me, even though he was yelling at me half the time. He stood by me. He never gave up on me. And he said, I'm going to teach you. You want to learn. You want to do big things. You got to fail big. And we're going to get you back where you need to be. So he's always been a mentor of mine. Poor guy, we still talk all the time. He just got hit by a truck. He's a bicycler. But you know what? He's so positive. He got hit by a truck and he's still going. He's like, I got a couple scrapes on my leg, but that's fine. Dust it off and move on, right? But it's just, I tend to latch on to people who don't let obstacles kind of get in the way. And those two people have never, ever let any obstacle get in their way. So that's it.
I would say thank you to my husband. He inspired me to follow my dream. And always there to help support me. And Kum Rosary, she helped me choose the classes that would benefits me the most, becoming a flight attendant. One of these classes taught by Mr. Kozue, they both gave me the confidence and motivation to achieve my dream of becoming a flight attendant for Hawaiian Airlines.
Okay.
I would say first person, my dad. He also had a big career change in his life. He used to work at a big company to sell like toothbrush, shampoo stuff at a big company to transfer to own a small business, small company, real estate and construction company. So he told me changing is not an easy thing, but it's totally worth it. So that's why so he inspired me to have a career change in my life, and I was really good. So and the second person, Kumulosely. I'm not telling this because I'm here, because I really, truly, she inspired my life. Because if I didn't meet her, I would not have been able to have the job I have right now that I love and I enjoy. Because during the class, she was saying she loves what she does. So like, oh, wow, I want to be like her. I want to tell people that I enjoy my job and I want to love my job. So she truly inspired. Thank you, Kumu.
What an amazing panel. Give him a round of applause, please. Really great. In your bags are this flyer. If you could bring it out, just a huge shout out to the Hospitality and Tourism Program. It's also an opportunity if you want to contribute to their scholarship program. There's information on there where you can maybe help students out if you're able to. Thanks again to the panel. Thanks again to all of you. Thanks again to everyone in the internet world. This has been such a wonderful afternoon. Outside, there's another Kapiolani Community College graduate who is handing out popsicles. Actually, ask him about his story. It's a pretty amazing. We interviewed him this one time. One of his test popsicles was gravy, I think. And you can imagine it tasted as good as it sounds. Anyway, thank you all. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Please take care.